What's good, YouTube? LTTV Combat Sports. And for those that are new, I talk boxing and MMA and everything in between. If you rock with combat sports content, feel free to hit that sub button and vibe with the channel. I came across some kind of shocking news, and it's a news that I didn't expect, but I want to bring it to you guys' attention in case you guys have been living under a rock. Michael Chandler has came out recently and stated that he believes that him and Conor McGregor could potentially fight in the White House next year. He states the following: I think we're closer now than we have ever been. I've always said if you're a betting man, don't put money on him necessarily coming back. But now this changes things a lot. In my heart of hearts, I think I'm fighting Conor McGregor at the White House. That sure does make a ton of sense for a multitude of reasons. First and foremost, I want the White House. Chandler said ideally, if it becomes Conor, that would be awesome. We have some unfinished business. I've got respect for him. He's got respect for me. But we do have some unfinished business. He has expressed interest. When he put out the meme of me and him, I guess could call it a meme. It was AI. It was me and him. He's called me out on Twitter and said we have unfinished business. And we do. We have unfinished business. We would be the only fighters not to fight after the Ultimate Fighter who were in the same weight class. Conor and I, it makes sense. Truth be told, he's right. It does make a lot of sense because fighters who were coaches on the Ultimate Fighter, they usually fight after that Ultimate Fighter season has concluded. But Conor and Mike were coaches on Ultimate Fighter, but they never fought. So it does make sense for that particular reason. However, this is Conor we're talking about. He's had a multitude of legal issues, civil cases, and other things going on outside. And he hasn't fought since UFC 264, which was 4 years ago when he fought Dustin Poirier. And Michael Chandler himself hasn't won a fight since UFC 274, which was May of 2022. So both individuals have had bumps on the road, and it's kind of, honestly, it's a bit unrealistic. Now, I did take a look at Conor's Instagram. He is, he does spar. You see videos of him and his son shadow boxing and stuff like that. So that's cool. You see him getting in some work in, things of that sort. But like I said, this is Conor we're talking about. It's never a guarantee. He's made a lot of money in the sport and also out the sport. So the lack of interest made him retire. But now, could he come back after 4 years of absence away from the sport? It's 50-50 in my opinion. If you're Conor, you may actually be interested in fighting Michael Chandler, because he's the only one that's really been calling him out like that. Other fighters kind of moved on. The lightweight division, the welterweight division has moved on from Conor. The Conor McGregor era in UFC has been long done. And Michael Chandler, he's still waiting on Conor. Honestly, you can't wait on no grown man in the sport of mixed martial arts. I mean, the fight would be cool if it happens, but if you're Michael Chandler, you have to be realistic. Do you really want to waste another year or so of your career waiting on somebody who's been inactive for 4 years? That don't sound like a smart ass move to me. It sounds dumb as hell. And you know, if you are Michael Chandler, you kind of would just want to get back to the drawing board, because he did compete in April of this year, and he did lose that fight by TKO. Now, TKO losses happen, so there's no shame in that. You know, Michael Chandler is still a top guy at lightweight, still an exciting fighter that fight fans will tune to watch. However, you're having this Conor McGregor fight aspirations when you're still actively competing, and you kind of like holding out hope that you get the big payday, when in all actuality that shit may not even happen. So it's always best to still focus on your own self and your own career. He's 39 years old. He don't have that much fight left in him, honestly. So as much as some fight fans would like to see it, it's a fight that, in my opinion, has ran its course. I don't see Conor coming back to the sport of mixed martial arts. I truly don't. If it does happen, you know, Dana White and Sean Shelby and those guys over there can convince him to come back, then cool. Conor gets back in the octagon after 4 years of absence. If Mike Chandler gets the fight that he's always wanted. But if we're just being realistic and just outright blunt about it, the shit might not even come to fruition. If we're just being true about it and not just beating around the bush, do I see it happening? Personally, no. But Conor is training. I don't know if he's in fight shape right now, but from what I've seen on his IG, he is training. He does spar in between. So with him, you kind of have to just wait and see. But you shouldn't want to wait if you're Michael Chandler. You kind of just keep going about your career, and you know, if the Conor fight happens, it happens. If it don't, it is what it is. But I want to get you guys' thoughts. If you are a Michael Chandler fan or a Conor McGregor fan, or if you're just a fan of both fighters, can you realistically see both of those guys inside the octagon in 2026? My opinion is already known, but I want to get you guys' opinions on this. For those that may come across the video in the comment section, if you are a fight fan, of course, let me know how you feel. It's going to be a wrap for this video. Until next time, stay sharp, stay fighting. LTTV Combat Sports. I'm out. Peace.